This might be the most important video that I do all year. We're going to get a little personal today. Stick around. All right, hobby family, like I said, this one is going to get a little bit personal today. It's a really important video, I think. And I really want to see what this whole sports card community is all about. We're going to find out here in a minute. I got a couple of different topics. One, an announcement in the front end of this video. And then I do have my Tuesday shoutouts card capsule, 10% off of your supplies, your waterproof cases, down below, as well as justcollect.com. If you have a collection you're looking to sell, justcollect.com's got an appraisal form. Leighton Sheldon can help you out, and also has a great Just Collect YouTube channel as well, where he's talking about all the collections he's finding. Really good education there and for sports cards. All right, before we get into the main topic, a member of the community reached out to me yesterday, Paul, said he was at the Philly card show here recently, and a red 33 Gaudy Ruth, estimated between $16,000 and $20,000, was stolen from the Philly card show. It was kind of one of these deals. It kind of reminded me of what happened at the Dallas card show, although not as crazy as that. But basically, two guys that were there at the booth, one distracted him and the other one took this Ruth out of the case, according to what was shared here. I'm going to put pictures up here. If you have any news on this thing, you've seen this card, I've got contact information here, but this was a red 33 Gaudy Ruth that was stolen from the Philly card show. All right, the main event. Again, sometimes these videos will pop on my stream. Sometimes I'm just really glad that they do, because again, it offers perspective, offers something different than the usual feed stuff, including my own stuff, guys. I mean, I do my best here. I try to offer entertainment, but I know that I can also be fairly redundant with some of the topics. But I caught this video here yesterday from The Chosen Roster, I believe is the YouTube channel, The Chosen Roster. Really vulnerable video. Essentially what this guy is talking about is, this is his first video in 18 months. And I looked at his channel and he's got, I think, 800 or 900 videos. Some of them are over 4 years old, and a lot of his videos are sharing pickups. They're just kind of like mail day pickup type videos where he's talking about the cards. That's really the majority of his videos. So heavy duty collector. Well, and I'm going to put a link down below. Actually, let's go ahead and play just a clip just to kind of give you a feel for what I'm talking about, so you can actually see and hear this for yourself.
Just over a year and a half since I last posted a video on this channel. And to say things have changed would be a rather large understatement. So, when it comes to the hobby itself, I've sold a lot of items. I've basically dissolved the whole Greenberg collection, and basically all the other stuff that I had just laying around. Some really nice items that took me a long time to consolidate into one collection. But the time was now to do it. So for all of you wondering why you're seeing so many Greenberg, especially nice Greenberg items, coming up on eBay through Champion Sports Cards, that's why. That's my collection that just had to go out. I had to get rid of it. And there's a multitude of reasons for that. The background is quite different now. I am now living on my own in a very small apartment with very little room. So it's a lot of changes in life, and the finances have not been good, especially now, since I actually have time now to make a video. And that's basically because I'm in between jobs at the moment. I was managing a restaurant, and that restaurant closed.
And so, like I said, you can see and you can hear the pain from this guy. He's one of our own, another hobbyist. I do not know this guy. I've never had contact with him. And I did comment on this video, and if anybody knows who this is, the chosen roster, and how to reach them with an email, cell phone, or whatever, IG or whatever it is, please let me know what that is. My contact information is in the video description. I've got an email, I've got an IG and all that stuff. I'm trying to get a hold of this person, the chosen roster YouTube channel. He shares here that he's currently living in an apartment. He's in between jobs. He was a restaurant manager, and he was recently laid off because the restaurant is closed. And so, as we know, look, if you've got a family, you're battling, you lose your job. It's kind of everyone's just fighting to try to kind of keep everything moving along. When you've got a family, you know, it's tough. When you have job loss, it puts huge pressure on, you know, dads. It really does. You know, as men, we are providers. It really hits home. I know a lot of dads can relate to this, and we're going to talk a little bit philosophically here in a few minutes, but he states here that he's currently supporting 2 households. He has a son that's into playing Pokemon, and he mentions here that he plays Pokemon. They kind of do that together during the time that he has them. So I'm reading between the lines. He doesn't say there's a relationship split, but I'm reading between the lines here in the video, and it seems pretty clear that, you know, he has certain time with his son, and there's been life changes according to his video title. I myself have been through this same thing. I was 26 years old. This is going back 17 years now. So I've been with my wife for 15 years, but 17 years ago, I was facing divorce at 26. I had 2 kids, got married young. And, you know, it really shook me. At the time, I was about 200 pounds, and I went all the way down to about 162 pounds during that time when I was going through it. It's something that you can only really understand if you've been through it yourself. It's really tough. And so, you know, when I'm watching this video, I can almost just remember kind of how that felt. A tough time with a road ahead, you're digging yourself out, and you're just doing the very best that you can. As part of what he's trying to do here to dig himself out is selling a lot of his collection. He says that he's got a lot of Hank Greenberg, I believe it was Hank Greenberg stuff. He has a lot of vintage stuff that he has already been selling, but he's essentially being forced to sell this stuff because he's got bills to pay. He's trying to, you know, obviously he's trying to provide. And so, you know, let me also shout this out too. So it's not as if he's coming to the community asking for money or anything, but he has his eBay, and I'll put a picture up here, Champion Sports Cards and Collectibles on eBay, but he's got tons and tons of items that are on auction currently. And that's kind of how he's looking for help. If you have interest in any of those items, please go and check all that out on eBay. I'll see if I can put a link in the video description there just to take you there to his eBay page. But, you know, I'm trying to also figure out a way. I would like to contribute to help this guy. That's another reason why I really want to get in contact with him. And maybe it's a GoFundMe, or maybe it's a PayPal donation link. And I know some people might say like, hey man, this is, you know, people go through stuff and, you know, whatever. Like, you know, GoFundMe used to be, when I was a kid, the GoFundMe was to go and mow lawns and stuff. That's all great. And again, like we can take that side of it. And yes, people go through stuff, but this guy his video really struck me. I know that it's got to be, this is tremendously hard to deal with on your own, let alone putting it out into the universe publicly, what you are going through, you know? And so, like I said, being somebody that has been through this scenario before, I don't know the ins and outs. Again, he just kind of, I'm reading between the lines, but watch this video and it just hit me, man. It just really hit me. YouTube analytics tells me that 97% of you all are men that are watching. There's just a hell of a lot of pressure on men at all times. You know, whether it be providing emotional support, physical support, all this stuff. Like men have a lot on their plate. And I don't think it really gets talked about very much, but a ton of amazing husbands and dads that go through fire, that have to go through all sorts of craziness. And do a lot of them talk about it? No. You know, we kind of like, we internalize it. We just deal with it, you know, because that's what we're supposed to do. And society will tell you like, oh no, it's a new world, you know, and men are supposed to be vulnerable and allowed to kind of share all their emotions and all that stuff. I don't really believe that that's true. You know, again, this is me being a little bit philosophical. It's not to say that I can never be vulnerable. I can be, you know, 1 or 2% of the time. But the expectation is that I'm the rock. I am the rock. You know, when everyone's got troubles, when everybody's got, you know, a bad day, I'm the one that has to be the rock. Shout out to all the amazing dads out there. You know, this is real life stuff. And, you know, again, this is where we all have collections, and we've talked about kind of, you know, life happens. Maybe you have a medical event. Maybe you have a job loss you have to sell. You know, you have different reasons why you need to sell. And this is kind of one of those unfortunate type things that can really just happen to anybody. So like I said, I need to get a hold of this person. I'd like to help him directly, but then I'd also see if I can kind of, you know, raise money, help get some donations, get the word out, because one of our brothers out here, one of our hobbyists is struggling. And like I said, watch the video for yourself. This is not it's not an act. So again, just a quick reminder, we have all these great collections and we have all this cool stuff. Always looking for that next cool pickup for our PC. But this is just a reminder that, look, you can get punched in the mouth tomorrow. Like, it can all change for any of us. It could be all sorts of different trials, tribulations, adversity that we could face that could derail kind of the fun that we're having here in this hobby. So I think, again, a reminder, just enjoy every day, enjoy what you have already. You know, and that's something that just kind of rocked me a little bit. I wanted to share it with you all. And like I said, you know, let's see what happens here. I'd like to get something set up. And if anybody is interested, let me know. And if anyone knows this guy, please let me know how to get in contact with him. His YouTube channel, The Chosen Roster, and I will put a link to his channel down below. All right, my friends, that is all today. Stay healthy, stay awesome, and I'll talk to you again later.